We're going to go over now to Italy, to Tancredi, who is our Italian correspondent. See how this has gone down in Italy. Tancredi is with us now. Tancredi, thank you very much indeed for joining us. The news has hit this country like the proverbial bombshell. How has it been greeted in Italy?
Buonanotte from San Siro. Well, you can imagine that here we were just few minutes before starting the kickoff here in San Siro, and suddenly all the journalists started to speak about a completely different subject. And I can tell you, all along the first half, where actually the result, the score was still 0-0, everyone here in the press area, in the press box, was speaking about Capello, what he will do, what will be his future. So the impact, the reaction has been completely huge. Also because, you know, Inter is not having such a good season. Capello still have a good relationship with Juventus management. So there was already a lot of talks about what will happen with him and if he will be back here.
Mm. Will he be seen as a hero in Italy because he's told England to stuff it, basically?
Yes. Well, the thing is that, you know, this was actually quite a surprise because that's true what he talked and what he said, but was not expected a step like this. And this can change something really in the next weeks, in the next month. I can tell you, we will probably, for a part of talking about Inter, for example, starting from tomorrow, we will talk more about Capello than all the other things affecting this team in this season, because Capello already last season and 2 years ago, when Mourinho quit, was appointed to be very close to Inter.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he's going to come back to Italy anyway? In this country, we believe he's either going to go to the Middle East or maybe Russia for one big final payoff.
Exactly. Middle East, I would rule it out, actually, because the guy is well, he got ambition, of course.
Yeah.
He also has said that he will not be back to any clubs, and he also said that he would never be the manager of Italian national team,
right?
Because he said it was too much a difficult job. That was, of course, before taking the English job, of course. And I must say, we were talking about the different options. Yeah, it's true, Inter would like to appoint him. I think that he could become a kind of general director for Juventus, but we shouldn't rule out also the Anji Makachkala role. I mean, the Russian team where Eto'o is playing. We can never know, because they can assure wage that nobody else can assure. But still, as long as he said, I will never be back to any club, and he said that I will not be manager of Italy, I wouldn't rule out that he might start a career as a general manager, but just talking about what is the club and not anything with the team.
Okay, Tancredi, were you surprised back in Italy that that Fabio Capello started this issue about him leaving the England job by giving an interview to an Italian TV station, Rai, rather than talking maybe to the BBC in England?
Well, I'll tell you this. You probably, I don't know if you know this, but you're probably talking with a man that in some way is a bit probably responsible of what has happened, because when Sunday night he gave this interview, this short interview, because it's this kind of a very short program, 5 minutes on Sunday night. And he gave this short interview talking about completely different matters. He talked about the season, the winter, the Italian stadiums, the fight in Serie A between Juventus and Milan. There was just 40 seconds in this interview, 40 seconds where he mentioned actually this matter. He didn't talk about it, he mentioned this matter. And I was there, and I said, okay, I think now revolution is gonna break out. I waited there for some minutes, because I know that English media are so ready. Nothing was happening. I said, okay, guys, this can't be really. And when I started to tweet about what he said, I was then contacted by all the English media, all the English papers, other TVs, that were asking me confirmation about his sentences. And when that happened, I said, okay, really something here is going to happen from this reaction, I can say. And I can tell you from maybe, let's say, from kind of body language, from his way to answer to that question, that he was for sure not expecting this kind of consequence would happen already on Tuesday night.
Okay.
I'm sure about that.
Okay,
Completely
so,
sure.
so hang on, Perry. So you're saying that it was a throwaway comment at the end of an interview about something else, and it's had devastating consequences?
Yes, indeed. Completely. Yes, indeed. It was, as I told you, it was the 6 minutes program. He had he was given 6 or 7 questions.
Yeah.
And this was the second last questions. And he answered, I don't want to say a surprise, but the answer was something like, okay, I will tell you something.
Yeah.
This actually is a matter that in this moment is a bit disturbing me, but
Yeah.
I will be polite and I will answer you. So
Amazing.
for sure, he was not expecting all this revolution that happened after.
Right. that's
Tancredi,
incredible.
I'd just like to say,
Yeah.
if you help the downfall of Fabio Capello in this country, from all England football fans, it's a massive thank you. You're up there with Alf Ramsey. You've put our football forward 10 years. So I'd just like to thank you.
Guys, I don't know if this will really help you, seriously.
It will.
I can't remember one club succeeding in a top competition with a decision like this a few months before. My memory doesn't help me in that way, and I have a very good memory about that.
Yeah, but Tancredi, can I tell you this, and this is absolutely serious, if Fabio Capello spoke English like you do, because you speak English like I do, you speak better English than me, actually. Now, if Fabio Capello spoke English like that, we'd all have taken him to our hearts, but it seems almost like he went out of his way not to speak English, not to understand what we were trying to say to him in our native tongue, and he didn't try very hard to embrace this country.
I really thank you about that. On the other side, I must say that I can't manage a team like he can do. So I don't know, honestly. Well, I mean, language is important, but I don't know how this had an influence. Think about Trapattoni. He's speaking English, and that can tell you a lot.
He speaks very good English, Trapattoni, compared to
Capello. He's William Shakespeare.
He is William Shakespeare.
Capello.
Listen, Tancredi, I want to thank you very much indeed. That was a fantastic talk with you, particularly the insight as to how these words, which have led to the end of Fabio Capello's career as England manager, how they actually came out into the public domain. And as you say, you had a part of them. You have been a part of English footballing history, and I salute you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Tancredi, for being with us tonight. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
I'm being serious.
Yeah,
if he's had any part in getting rid of Fabio Capello, who's been, I think, a buffoon, basically, as England manager, then great. But it just shows you the power now of social networking and tweeting. Because Capello might have got away with that, mightn't he?
Yeah, he might
when
have.
Capello took over, I'd never heard of Twitter.
Stay ahead of the game with Sports Tonight Live. Don't miss a thing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search for Sports Tonight Live on Facebook and like our fan page. Follow Sports Tonight TV on Twitter and tweet us your thoughts and opinions. Sports Tonight Live, it's the platform for the fans.